What's up YouTube, Capital G here, checking out some brand new fusion support that just got revealed coming out of Dawn of Majesty. I thought that this was just going to be a synchro set, and yet Konami is supporting the other mechanics. We know that there is going to be some link support in here as well, because we got the new TCG exclusive Insect archetype that's going to be link based, and this is really interesting. Now, there are two cards, but I'm really not going to talk about the fusion monster very much because it's very similar to Sea Monster of Theseus. It's not an effect monster, so obviously there's no interesting effect to talk about. And really, I would assume you're just going to summon this card if you specifically are looking for a fusion monster that's a tuner, or maybe you're looking to, I don't know, just summon like, or you specifically need like a level 2 or something like that. It's a very niche card. I honestly don't really think it's worth a ton of discussing, but I'm sure there will be some decks that find it useful. The more important card and the more interesting card is Retort Fusion, and this is the card that a lot of people are saying is basically the new instant fusion. And honestly, the wording on the card is almost identical, and I love the artwork, by the way, referencing magical scientists. The only thing I can't quite figure out is it like, I don't know if that's like a bag of tea or something like that, because obviously instant fusion was like a cup of noodles, so maybe this is like a bag of tea. Anyways, it's mimicking the effect of magical scientist, so that's why it has the artwork right there. It's a normal spell that's a hard once per turn. Pay 1,000 life points, special summon one level 6 or lower non-effect monster from your extra deck, or fusion monster. From your extra deck, this is treated as a fusion summon, but it cannot attack and also destroy it during the end phase. So the wording on the text is basically identical to instant fusion. The only difference is you have to summon a non-effect monster. Now, a lot of people were like, oh man, Cap G, that makes this card just a strictly worse version of instant fusion. However, that is not true, because this card, although it can't, do some of the ridiculous plays that Instant Fusion became known for throughout all its years, like summoning Norden, or, being kind of like an anti-hand trap-ish type card where you summon Millenniumize Restrict, you can't summon monsters for their effects. However, this allows you to summon level 6 monsters, which Instant Fusion does not. Instant Fusion tops out at level 5, and I know people are going to think that maybe that isn't very important, but number one, for synchro summoning, it can be very important, where you got to add up levels, and being able to, go an additional level just makes a very big difference. But number two, I would say in like the last, format or so, we have really seen the impact of level 6 and rank 6 monsters as a whole. We saw Virtual World running rampant. We saw what Drytron could do. There are builds that are very focused on summoning level 6 monsters in Drytron, whether it be Cyber Angel Ben 10 or Herald of Perfection, going into cards like Beatrice for disruption, and then you could even take those Xyz monsters and maybe attack with them, turn them into Zeus. So I actually think that there's a lot of decks that can do work by summoning level 6 monsters, which obviously Instant Fusion can't do. I mean, Virtual World, you could use this, not even Xyz summon, you could use this to go into like Ultimate Zoken, and that could definitely be pretty spicy. But in addition to that, if you are just running this in a like link-based deck, or maybe in a synchro-based deck, this can basically just serve as an extender. You don't necessarily have to use this for some powerful monster effect that you're trying to summon from the extra deck. This can basically just be more copies of Instant Fusion. If you're somebody out there who's playing a deck that, revolves around summoning like Bahamut Sharks and going for the Toad combos, being able to summon a rare fish from your extra deck, not super reliable if you only have one Instant Fusion, but now with Retort Fusion, I would assume that this card's going to be at 3. It definitely becomes a lot more reliable, like when Instant Fusion was at 3, because I don't think Instant Fusion is going to be at 3 for a very, very, very long time, especially if Konami is making like new versions of the card. So I think that this card is definitely like, it's a good card. Just because it can't summon the powerful monsters doesn't mean it doesn't have abilities. And again, if you're playing something where you can make use of level 6s, you definitely want to at least take a look at this, because summoning a level 6 from your extra deck is pretty strong. So what do you guys think of Retort Fusion? Love the artwork of this card. I feel like it's going to be a common, but I would really like to see this as I'd like to really see it as a super rare, because I think that Instant Fusion was printed as like a common, and clearly that card should not have been a common. Anyways, leave it in the comment section below, whatever you guys think. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already.